shorts.
So the back of my car is I've
You look
had
like a
so many.
coach.
I look like a kid's football coach. So I died every time I had to give someone a lift. I've got a massive ball bag. I've got about 5 pairs of boots from Adidas that I got. Pumps. Goalkeeper gloves, like the official like.
That's
I'm just like, so I've got a full obsession of buying like all this professional football gear.
Hello, welcome to Silver Bullet. My name's Lewis Hobber.
My name's Michael Hing.
And this podcast will cure all your ills.
Oh, yeah.
That's its aim, to fix you, to fix us. But we can't help you because we're useless. So each week we ask someone to come on and share with us something that helps them, and or something that they thought would help them, and we review whether or not it did or didn't. Hing and I also try it and see if it works for us.
And this week, Lewis, our guest is, I would say, one of the most famous people, not just in Australian music, but also, I have it on good authority, in Thailand, in the Philippines, and soon to be South America as well. We're joined by the incredible singer-songwriter Rule. G'day, Rule. How's it going?
Hey, I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's so lovely to be with you. I feel like you're still a young man. I feel like I've known you now since you were a child.
Yeah. I look at you as an uncle. Yeah.
Thank you. I
like a
appreciate
dodgy
that.
uncle?
Yeah, I
who's,
mean, or maybe like something in law. I don't know, like
Yeah.
step
Sure.
uncle in law.
Very removed.
Yeah, but I feel
Yeah.
like I've known you since I was a child.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's crazy. 'Cause
buying you booze when you're
Yeah.
underage and stuff like that. Yeah.
that never happens. But I don't know what it's like to be as famous and successful as you, and I never will. But because I remember when you first, as Hingers was saying, when you first went overseas, and you were surprisingly mobbed. You were like mobbed at the airport.
Yeah,
And
I
you didn't see
was
that
in
coming.
Japan when I was like 15, and I didn't have any music out, so I don't like really have it. I don't think it was like a thing that I was.
thought you were like a
Yeah,
footballer or
I don't know. I think I was definitely mistaken, but I feel like I don't know. It's the fan culture over there. They just kind of latch onto anything, and they latch on hard.
Yeah.
And I was booked for a festival called Pop Spring in like 2017, maybe started 2018. I think maybe Golden Years had just come out with M Phases. Like it was like so early on, and I got to the airport and there was just like all the people. I think they were waiting because Nick Jonas was also playing the festival, and I think they were like, I think Nick might have got a private jet, and since I came on like the commercial flight, they were just like, we'll take this guy.
Maybe they
And
just
then-
thought you were a Jonas brother,
I
like a
mean-
Jonas cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess
that was the Kevin.
the reason that this is relevant to our purposes is
Yeah.
that you have had, I guess, quite an intense adolescence into young adulthood, right?
Yeah.
Like you've been famous, you've been traveling the world, and what comes along with that is incredible stress and, fame and fortune and everything else, but also wacky remedies, I'm thinking occasionally you're in LA and someone wheels you into a spa or something, or
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of
charlatans trying
chaos.
to sell you stuff, I reckon.
Yeah. I don't know. I always found like the best remedy is competitive sport. Like as soon as I left
Interesting.
school and I missed waking up at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday, driving out to Penrith to like your dad's really doesn't want to drive you, but he also wants you to have a good game.
Yeah.
And you maybe carpool with one of your friends and you rock up and there's another school there and the tension, your heart's beating fast and you're playing for the 13A's football or basketball, like that whole thing that like as soon as that went away, I was like, I need something to replicate that. So I don't know, especially in COVID, I remember just like signing back up when I came home for like a bunch of football teams, and I played so much football, like an insane amount of it. And then now it's like what I do. It's like my only source of exercise. Like 2-3 times a week, I'll try and gather a bunch of my friends and we'll just go for a kick. And that is like the most removed you can get from my job. So that's why I feel like it's the most like therapeutic for me to just like to feel centered.
Okay, so we need to get specific.
Yeah.
You've talked about football, you've talked about competitive sport.
Yeah.
But Rule, what is your silver bullet?
So my thing is I'll grab, if sometimes it's hard to get numbers, so maybe I'll just have one friend and we'll go down to a football field and we'll have a penalty shootout competition. And we'll have about 10 shots each. And just kind of like how many you can get in 10 shots, or you just do it like a normal penalty shootout where you go back and forth.
Yeah.
5 each.
That's good. It's really good. It's exciting, and also it's really well timed because at the time of recording,
Yeah.
we're in the middle of World Cup fever.
Everyone's feeling it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I've been going extra hard recently.
Yeah, because I am not a soccer/footballer. Never have been. I grew up in like country Victoria, where it was basically AFL or death.
Yeah, it's still putting a foot through a ball.
Yeah, that's right. And so I used to enjoy, going to have a kick with a friend. But I think maybe I had moved to Sydney, and I can't remember which World Cup it was. Maybe it would have been like 8 years ago or 10 years ago, maybe, because it was the Men's World Cup. And my share house was we got mad with the fever, and we started going down to the park every afternoon and playing soccer. And over like the month or whatever that it was on, or the fortnight, more and more people would come every afternoon, and we met the neighborhood. Yeah. And then there would be like one guy who was from like Romania who was freakishly good. Yeah. And then you'd be like, what's your story?
There's always a Romanian.
And it was awesome, but I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they call it the World Game, Lewis. It is, El
never heard
Juego
that.
Bonito.
Okay, so let's talk about like when do you do this?
All the time.
Right.
Every time I'm home. It's hard to do it on tour. I still found a few, like, I'd asked the tour manager when we were on a bus to like park near football fields. It was a massive inconvenience for him, but it was really important. I really got my sass on, my diva on.
And do you have specific people you like to play with?
Yeah. I've got like a group of like 10 mates that I rotate.
Right, okay.
That's
or
smart.
we all go out together. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And talk us through the basic rules, just so that if anyone is listening at home,
Wants to try it.
rules for the silver bullet of like soccer with a friend.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, just to put this out there, it is my silver bullet. It doesn't have to be anyone else. I feel like I'm scared now, like when I...
No one's gonna be like, this didn't fix me.
Everything like this just hurt my face. Because it involves playing goalkeeper, which a lot of people sometimes are a little scared about. And
You've got the build of a goalkeeper.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a very tall, very long man, so you've got a good reach to fill the goal.
Slight advantage over my smaller companions.
Is that why you pick your smallest friend?
Yeah,
first?
honestly, yeah.
I just like to win.
So what are the rules if people want to try this?
Yes. So obviously, just need a football field, goal, put it on the penalty spot. Doesn't matter. I feel like I do a scissor, paper, rock, whoever starts.
Yeah.
And anyway, you shoot. If you miss, next person goes. They shoot, they miss. And basically you have 5 shots each. Whoever scores the most wins. But if it turns into a sudden death sort of thing if you get to 5.
Oh,
and
so you're
equal.
playing actual penalty shootout
Yeah,
rules.
I usually play that. Or if you want to go on for longer, sometimes we go to 10.
Right.
And we just go 10 shots.
But
one
the
each. There's lots of ways.
important thing, but the important thing is keeping score, and
Yes.
it is competitive. That's an
Yeah,
important
it's
element.
very
to it.
competitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had the last time I remember doing this was, well, I did it a couple of days ago, but I did it on tour, and I had a whole like competition with my drummer Sissa, and he plays football as well, but he is just as competitive I am, and we just got so into it. And we're in Philly. We found it was like 36 degrees. It was so hot, and we found like this AstroTurf field, and we were just diving around, just like, full stretch trying to save them, and we both got like so injured before a show. And but it was worth it. Every part of it's worth it. It's just about getting a sweat and about feeling that competitive sport. I don't know, the butterflies.
Yeah, I get that because I miss competitive sport.
Yeah.
I miss it a lot. I'm a competitive person.
So just for people who don't know, what competitive sports did you growing up? You played a little bit of football.
So played some AFL.
Yep.
I played field hockey. I was pretty good at that.
And
Okay.
I played roller hockey.
Roller hockey's
for
the big one.
Australia.
Okay.
he was 12 at the time?
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But it's hard to know. Like, it's not a big pool. So you know what I mean?
No.
Like, if you to play for Australia in like soccer,
You've just got to own rollerblades.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be better than like 30,000
Oh,
people.
sure.
Whatever. To play for
Who
Australia.
did you play?
We went to the
great
States
question.
and played America and Canada,
Oh
and
my.
we got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I'm sure. I
Like,
feel like that's.
we were
given.
playing a different game.
Yeah.
Like, we went over there and they had the mercy rule, which we didn't know about. But
What's that?
basically, if you get to like 7 goals up, the game just ends. So we flew
game's
all the way to
last night.
America. We were 12,
Yeah.
and our first game lasted 10 minutes, and we were done. And we
Oh
were
my
like,
god,
yeah,
that's
it was real.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
That's a lot of
humiliation has
pressure.
really spurred Lewis on to the tightly wound bound of nerves he is today.
Yeah, but I love competitive sport, and
Yeah.
but even like social competitive sport, I really enjoy. So, and I miss it a lot. My problem was that I feel like this is. I don't want to bring up the age too many times, but the availability of friends midweek, but at like age 20 and age, a million, it changes dramatically.
Oh, I'm already seeing it.
Right.
That's interesting. Maybe my friends are just unemployed losers, but yeah, no, I had plenty of
Yeah.
availability.
Because I was like, I had a couple of days, and because I've got a baby at the moment, so nights are out.
Okay, yeah.
Had to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the place we've moved has an amazing AstroTurf soccer field.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I often, on like weekend mornings when I'm up at 6 and I
Yeah.
have to take Olive for a walk, we'll do laps of the soccer
Yeah.
pitch so we've all got something to watch. So I've been like eyeing off this soccer pitch for months.
Yeah, great.
Desperate to have a kick.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. This is my chance.
Yeah.
But I haven't asked a friend to kick a ball with me in some years.
Yeah.
And I felt like
A child.
a child.
Yeah. It does. It feels extremely immature every time I text my friend. But now it's like, it's so, it happens all the time. Like, because I didn't do it until I feel like I came back from tour for a few years. Like, everyone finished school. I think when I asked my mate Rob to go for a kick, he was like, okay. Like, sure. But then as soon as we did it, he was like down for it. And
Totally.
yeah. It's like once you kind of get back into it, they're like, oh, this is why. Because
But-
it's
So
actually.
I was so excited to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
do you play football? Or did you play
a
anything?
little bit as a kid. I was
Yeah.
like very badly. I played
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a kid.
But you follow it.
Yeah, but I
properly.
follow it a lot.
Yeah, that's what
but
you need.
for me, this was actually a silver bullet I've already tried.
Right. Okay.
I did this throughout all of year 11 and year 12
Yeah.
in high school. My best friend Dave and I would go down to the park and we'd say we'd be going to go study or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'd just be doing penalty shootouts and like doing laps around the oval, kicking a ball to each other.
Yeah.
And we did this, I would say like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week
Yeah.
for like 2 years.
Mhm.
So this was absolute home ground for me.
Yeah.
I was so excited to do this.
Right.
Obviously Dave wasn't available. He's now a
An
a
accountant.
he's a respiratory researcher at the
Oh,
Wilcox
okay.
Institute
That's
as
a
a
little
PhD.
cooler, yeah.
He wasn't available.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of shitbag comedians who
Right.
don't have day
Is
jobs.
that because every time David run around the field, he'd be like, this isn't good for me.
Yeah.
Well,
I need to research
I
my
think-
lungs.
I think that because I was so bad at asthma, I think that 2 years of me running around the field with him and having like occasional asthma attacks, I think probably spurred him on.
Oh, you think you inspired him
Well,
to
I
a
don't know.
career in science?
Do you remember as well? We haven't talked. We probably haven't talked about it on the podcast, but you know that story I've told about go at uni having a bit of my lung taken
yeah,
out for
yeah.
$900. I sold a bit of my lung to a hospital for $900 so they could do little tests on it.
Yeah.
That was to my friend Dave, who's now
Oh.
a respiratory researcher.
Oh
So
my. Oh, that is. Yeah.
I was poor at the time.
That's
I was broke at the time. so I didn't-
insane.
But also, this is now, we should catch people up on that story because I feel like there was a part 2. Didn't you recently have to go back and try to find that lung?
I had to. No, I had to. I
He
had
has the
to-
missing piece.
taking a
It's like a
turn.
Horcrux. You had to
Yeah.
reattach this chunk of his
I
lung.
don't think we ever talked about this on the radio, but I had to go to a series of respiratory doctors after post COVID, and they said, and I said to them, oh, actually, if you rather than doing another biopsy in my lung, you've already got a bit of it at the Wilcox Institute, and they were like, oh, we'll look you up in the files.
Great.
And they had my bit of lung in there.
It's
Huh.
there.
Years ago, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
so
I don't know if
what-
they still have it, but they had the file there with all the info about the lung.
Oh,
It's
okay.
still got a biopsy.
For some
Like-
reason, I thought that when you said I was giving my lung to your mate Dave, it was like a lung transplant.
Oh no, no,
And
no.
I've been like,
No,
that
it was
is
a-
so weird.
it was a
Like,
very,
that's when my
very-
brain immediately went, and I was like, that doesn't exist. And
It's
then
a very small. Sorry, it's a very small part of my lung. that I was,
I like the idea that they've sold it away, sort of like a Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like
Yeah.
they go back
Yeah.
and go looking through the files.
It's a
they're
vault.
like,
They've got it
"Hey,
all in.
Exactly. It's
pull
just
out
in a
your-"
jar.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
doing little breathing.
So obviously, I had people to find. So obviously, I had
Yeah.
people I could use to do this. You know, I had access to a field. Lewis, how did you go finding someone to kick a ball around during the day?
So I was going through my friends who I thought this could possibly work for. I had 3.
Mhm.
My friend Fitzy, I was like, he's a TV producer, so he has
Yeah,
weird
yeah, yeah.
hours.
Uh-huh.
He is currently shooting the television series Alone. So he is
What?
away in the middle of
Love that
nowhere.
show.
Yeah.
It's the greatest.
So he's in an undisclosed location,
Okay.
waiting for Alone to finish.
Unavailable for a kick around.
Unavailable, and he's like, I can only check my phone like once a week.
Please
Don't
don't
waste
text
my
me.
time.
Yeah.
Then my friend Kirk, I was like, maybe I could text Kirk. He's also in TV, Weird Hours.
Yeah.
He was in Hong Kong,
Okay.
so he was out.
Uh-huh.
And then it came down to my friend George,
Mm-hmm.
who I was like, this will be great. George she's a former Australian basketballer.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, wow.
high level athlete,
Uh-huh.
works hospitality, Weird Hours.
Yeah.
The texted, and I did feel weird.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, George, do you want to come and kick a soccer ball with me? I felt like I needed to ask her mum for permission.
Yeah,
Did you
exactly.
say it was for a podcast?
I
Or-
didn't.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought it
think
wouldn't
that's
matter.
important. Yeah.
I was
I
like-
actually think it's important not to say it's for a podcast.
You know, I didn't want to cheapen it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I would have definitely said it was for a podcast. I don't have that confidence.
So George said, she was like, "That's a cute offer." Yes, and I was like, "Oh, I felt like, I don't know, a childish glee."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She said
exactly.
yes.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fun.
like exactly when your friend's mum says like yes, Timmy is available to
100%.
come for a play
Yeah.
date.
100%.
So I was pumped. I was stoked on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I spent the next few hours like toddling around the house, doing some work, being excited. Then she cancelled. She's like, "Yeah, sorry, I've got a
Yeah,
doctor's appointment."
So what did you do?
Well, so then it was like 4 p.m. and I was out of options. So then I went down to the soccer field with Alex, my girlfriend, and Olive, our child.
Yeah.
And we just took a little ball, like a pink ball with little nipples on it. You know
Yeah,
those balls?
yeah, I know
Oh,
exactly
like
those ones.
$2
Yeah,
ones.
Yeah.
nipple
And we
balls.
just kicked the ball to Olive and we swung her with her legs and
Right.
kicked it back.
Now
So if I
yeah.
can, honestly,
Yeah.
I went from the thrill of
Yeah.
excitement
Yeah.
to the crushing loneliness of being abandoned by all my friends.
Yeah.
You,
But that's not anyone else's fault, really.
you
No.
had a family you were like I think what you had was probably a joyful experience.
It actually was really nice.
but you have because you're experiencing a child's laughter, you know?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Terror at her
No.
dad kicking a ball at her.
We actually got some laughs, and she
Get
was
a
in
goal,
it.
Olive.
Yeah,
she was put,
Bagsy not net.
she put Olive in goal.
I'll
and just,
only
like,
love you if you win.
whip balls at her from the penalty spot.
But also, it was at the time of recording. It was going. This was like 5 p.m. At 8 p.m. that night, the Matildas were playing in
Oh,
the
wow.
semi-finals.
Yeah, yeah,
So
oh, right. Yeah.
it was like there was a frisson of football in the air. You know, everyone was excited. So it was really nice. And obviously, you know, she's a young girl, and we were watching like women's football take on this whole new thing in Australia. So it did feel nice. I was like, oh, this
Of course,
is cool.
yeah, that sounds lovely.
But I am going to go have a kick with my friend George this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Really?
So
Yeah.
after the podcast. So,
So 'cause she
pointless for
could-
this.
She couldn't do yesterday. Yeah, useless for content.
But maybe
Just
good for your mental
pure
health.
enjoyment.
But I still have the
Yeah, yeah.
excitement of anticipation. So a bit of a failure for me, but I could see how it could work.
Yeah.
And do you know what it was? Is like it was actually just good for me to be reminded that to just ask like a friend out for a play date.
Yeah.
Like it actually was.
It's all in the same, like,
Yeah.
umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't asked a friend out for like I'll go and see a friend for a drink or like you get into that
Yeah,
habit.
yeah.
But coming up with like a new activity to see a
Exactly.
friend with
100%.
was a good reminder.
That's what I've found. Yeah, I think that's the best. Something about doing something competitive with a friend who's also competitive
Yeah.
is great. It's therapeutic, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a penalty shootout. You could shoot hoops with your ex.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't want to get
Yeah,
beaten
sure.
that bad.
Well, because I take things seriously, Lewis, I did the assigned task.
I tried. I was just too much of a dork, and all
Yeah,
my
yeah.
friends bailed on me.
So I needed to go and purchase a football
Oh yeah.
because I
okay.
could have gone home and got one from mum and dad's house, but I thought driving out there might
Okay.
take a while.
Yeah,
So go buy a football. Had to buy a pump to obviously pump it up.
Sure.
You can usually ask the place you buy the football to pump it up for you.
Oh,
Little
That's
tip.
good knowledge,
well,
actually.
Well, okay. Well, and then I was I was thinking about because again football fever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cracking the nation. I was like, will I be a full kit wanker today?
I'll go all in.
Yeah, go all in.
Yeah.
All the gear.
So I went full kit wanker.
Shin
So
pads?
that you bought or that
No,
you already had?
I have stuff that I've sort of my gym gear is mostly football jerseys.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
But I have an old Socceroos jersey and
Oh, that's actually because
shorts and stuff.
I played in a charity soccer game maybe like 2 or 3 years ago at Dylan
Yeah.
Alcott's festival at Ability Fest, and they kitted us out in full Australia, like full Socceroos kit.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually could have. I'd forgotten that I have it. It's in the
It's
bottom
a-
of a drawer. I could show up ready to go.
You
this
should
afternoon.
definitely do that.
Yeah. It's a really good reminder.
Yeah, look, obviously there is something embarrassing about exercising in a full Australia kit.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I thought for the purposes of what we were doing, I thought football
Yeah.
fever, it's acceptable because again the Matildas were playing that night. So I had to go buy a football. I went to like a sporting wear store, and so it has been ransacked. And I was like, "Do you have any footballs?" And they're like, "Yeah." Like we have any footballs left.
Oh, what?
All they had left was like, pool toys and yoga mats or whatever. Like it was such a, So then in the shopping centre, there was another store, went there. They only had a size 3 football.
How
So
does
that's-
everyone run out of footballs?
Yeah.
Well, because football fever.
World
That's
Cup
what's buying
fever.
them.
I've got. This is hard. You continue your story, but I've got an addiction to buying footballs that I'll talk about.
I love this. Okay. So I bought size 3. I think a regular football is size 5. So size 3 is
Yeah.
like a kid's ball.
Okay,
And
right,
I was
right.
like, I want to get a regular ball because I'm a grown
Yeah.
adult.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I tried like at a discount retailer, know. They only had like dodgy ones,
Yeah.
like not great ones.
What does that mean?
Like ones that you can just tell they're not a great
Yeah,
feel.
I'll tell you all about that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We'll
Okay.
get into this in just a
Yeah.
second. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go into the city and I'm going to go to like the sporting wear, the big sporting wear
Yeah,
store in
yeah.
the city, and I'm going to buy an official World Cup ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I went in there and spent, frankly, too much money on football.
Yeah, yeah.
Again,
I know exactly how much money you spent.
again,
Because I have 10.
in a tracksuit with my Australian jersey underneath,
Oh, jeez.
buying a full World Cup ball and a pump and everything.
Yeah.
And to the person selling me the ball, I think they were like, "Oh, he thinks he can still go pro." I think that's what they.
Yeah.
But I love buying footballs as well. So tell me what balls you get.
So I found this addiction for the past 3 years, I think.
Uh-huh.
And I used to just go to the place near my house, and I used to just get like the $35 ones, like
Sure.
the kind of replica ones.
Sure.
And I was like, yeah, this is good. And I get a new one of them maybe like every 3 months.
Uh-huh.
And then it kind of started becoming like every month. And then I started getting like the top tier one, like the one above, like the $60 one. It's like, oh, this is nicer. This is better material, more true flight, as they say.
Ah.
The
And
curve
then
you can achieve on these things.
Is that right?
and then I kept going. And then I was like, and then I found myself going to like the footballer, like this massive football store in and Alexandria, and they have like all the official ones. And I bought the Premier League like $250 one, and I was like, let's go. This is it. I've got the pinnacle. Don't need to buy any more. And then I got myself a deal with Adidas,
No.
and they gave me basically this insanely ridiculous gift card that.
You
basically-
got like
and
the platinum.
I got like the Adidas black card.
No.
And it's the one thing that I bought about 10 official game balls like from Adidas off that thing.
They would
And
not have expected
They
that.
would not expect it.
Sure, it's
So the back of my car is I've
You look
had
like a
so many.
coach.
I look like a kid's football coach. So I every time I had to give someone a lift. I've got a massive ball bag. I've got about 5 pairs of boots like from Adidas that I got. Like pumps. Like goalkeeper gloves. Like the official like.
That's
Oh,
so
that's
I'm just like, so
great.
I've gone a full obsession of buying like all this professional football
I-
gear.
love this.
Yeah.
Okay, because I totally relate to this because whenever I get into a new hobby, I love the idea of I think this is a character flaw of mine.
Yeah.
But I will often be led by the gear. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go into this thing. Well, obviously I need to, go and buy an actual ball and
Yeah, yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. And so I'll often find myself, perhaps overspending. I spent enough money on this ball. It was more than I expected, but I was
Yeah.
like, this is
Because I would have
Yeah.
thought, as someone who's never bought a ball, I would have thought the best ball you could buy in the whole world, $120.
Yes, I mean, they're on sale for about
Yeah.
100.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to get the brand new with the new design of like the new
Okay.
Premier League, it's about $200.
Yeah,
Okay,
$200.
wow.
And then also, I mean,
Is it full
Well,
leather?
AFL balls are so expensive.
Yeah,
AFL
yeah.
balls are more expensive than that.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't. No,
Yeah,
they're
but they're
mostly-
real,
Yeah, they're real leather.
They're real leather.
I think there's leather portions to it, but it's a lot
Uh-huh.
of plastic
Yeah.
and as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Again, depends on which geometric pattern you're getting, and
Because I mean, obviously, I've been eyeing off the
Jubilati
the
from
d-
2010.
Oh, dude.
It's a great ball.
That's on my hit list. But they're like $800
Yeah,
to get the
they're
real
so
one. Yeah.
expensive.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
I've
that
been
the
looking at-
only ball that has a name? I feel like that's like
No,
an
they're all
no.
named. They're all named.
Oh, really?
So the new one is. I'm going.
No. Let's go
I
down the
could
rabbit
name,
hole.
or I think I could name every football from the Brazuca.
What
There's
do
the
you
Brazuca.
mean?
There was Giuliani. There was the the Russia one was the Telebs. Oh no, I should have lost it now.
No,
I was about to flex.
No,
But
that's
no,
fine.
The new one's called the Oceans, like the oceans. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
like an
there's-
Oceania
But
situation.
and basically, if you're a regular person,
Yeah.
they're all the same.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But what
They
it
are.
does
They
give you,
are.
if you are dressed in the full Australia kit, is the belief that
Yeah.
you could one day play in a World Cup and win a World Cup.
100%.
Okay.
So when I went, then I went again, full kit wanker,
Yeah.
walking with my,
brand new game
Yeah.
ball.
brand new official ball, walking down to the park, messaged my friend who has said I can't say who they are,
Mm-hmm.
but I can say they're a comedian from television, right? Because
Mhm.
they were free during the day.
Okay.
But they said I don't want people knowing that this is how I spend my days
Okay. Yeah.
because
Interesting.
because of what happened next. So we went to a park near his house, right?
Mhm.
Which is in the city of Sydney, and I didn't realize this when we went to the park. It backs onto a school,
Uh-huh.
but it's just a park where people work.
So it's not a school, but you didn't break into the school.
No, it's
Yeah.
not a school park, but it backs onto the school.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we were having a kick around in some goals, whatever. And then it was like 11:30, a bunch of kids came out in a class to use the oval.
Ah.
Now, I cannot stress enough that this is not a school oval, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't break in any fences.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a public park. There were lots of other public people around.
Yeah.
But the teacher came up to us and was like, "Oh, we need this oval for class." And I was like, "Oh, we're just in the middle of a penalty shootout." So it was like 3-3 at this point. And I was like, "Can you give us 5 minutes to finish up?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, no, we it's for the class." And I was like, "Okay."
Have you booked
It's a
the
public
field?
park.
We
Yeah.
hadn't picked we hadn't booked the field.
But have they booked the field? Is what I'm asking.
Well, I imagine they
Like,
had.
can you book the field? In my opinion, obviously this is insane, but they can't make you leave a public park. I don't care how many kids they have.
Well, there's just something about the way a teacher can speak to you
Yeah, sure.
that makes you a 4-year-old again.
Yeah, you're not getting out of that.
Yeah. And so it's this teacher and
Uh-huh.
a bunch of, I don't know, 6-year-olds or whatever, right?
Hmm.
And I'm just like, they can't run the whole field.
No.
Just put them down that end. Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously they're just like, we don't want strangers running around to the kids. If we kick a ball, it hits a kid.
But they came to you.
Exactly.
Very important.
That
you know?
doesn't hold up in court.
Yeah. So we were like, okay. So I was like, we're pausing this. But again, because I knew the competitive nature was important to this, I was like,
Yeah.
we're not going to call this a tie.
No.
Right? So then we just had to sit by a park with a ball for half an hour while kids played some stupid game where they ran around cones.
Drills.
But then it became weird because it was like we were just
Watching them.
watching a bunch of kids, which didn't feel good either.
No.
So I was having to we kind of turned away from kids, you know what I mean? So now we're just sitting in the bleachers but looking away from the field, which is also
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And none of it felt good.
No.
But after about half an hour, they went back inside, and then we continued.
Okay.
And I would say that even though I had felt so much joy about going to the park to kick around the ball,
Mhm.
and the exercise and the fresh air and running around and the competitive, and I loved that. All of that was undone by
By the children.
being talked to by a teacher and
Yeah,
also being
yeah.
asked to leave a field.
100%. No. That's a big thing. So, first of all, did you win or lose?
Great
I
question.
mean, I won obviously, but
nice.
I my friend was not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they weren't diving to save.
No,
you,
I
you
think-
just slot into a corner. It's fine.
I should say as well. I turned up in full kit. They were wearing jeans and a t-shirt, so they weren't.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
weren't.
They-
we came with different energies.
Yeah, yeah.
They came to lose.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the one thing that I find about this silver bullet is that it is hard to get a field that is free for an hour or so, with how long
Yeah.
you want to be there for. So because I've been doing this for so long, around where I live, I know all the times that it's free. I've got a full schedule of what times and what fields are going to be open exactly, and I know it's always pretty much from when you wake up to 2 p.m. on weekdays. You're
No go.
90% free if you're
right.
not near a school.
Yeah.
Because schools, lunch, recess and lunch, they'll come out and play on it.
Yeah.
And then so I've found the only one. Yeah, I've got a full schedule now in my head. There's like 5 pitches that I can drive to in like a 20-minute radius. So
That's great.
yeah.
That's so amazing. What happens at 2?
Oh, that's when training start or when schools like finish
school sport or
early
something.
and they go straight into school.
That's
sport.
interesting because I was going to meet my friend at 2:30 today.
Oh,
So
interesting.
that could be
At the AstroTurf.
yeah.
Is it near a school?
No,
could be good.
I don't think so.
Should be alright then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a go?
Incredible. I'm learning so much about the niche parts of your
No,
knowledge.
this is honestly when I'm not touring or writing music, I pretty much plan my whole life around my kicks.
Here's what I would like to do though. I think I would like to go at night.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice.
I think I'd like to
Under
do it under the
lights.
lights.
Yeah.
Well, we were under lights
That's
last night.
rare to get it underneath
Yeah.
the lights when there's not many people.
Oh, right, because everyone wants to play
training.
lights on
There's-
the
all the trainings start from go from like 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because that was out last night. We went down the AstroTurf. There were like 4 kids games, so we
Yeah,
were sort of
right.
kicking in the corner.
Yeah.
What I think now that you
You
have
need
a
the
kid,
goals.
Yeah.
You are probably 3 to 5 years away from coaching a football team. You know,
Well, you wouldn't want me as a coach for a variety of
I
reasons.
think you can coach.
Would you get Olive to
3-year-olds.
play AFL?
Maybe. I feel
You
like
have your height. That'll be good.
she probably
Oz
will
kick?
have my height.
Nice.
Yeah, Ozkick's pretty sick. Yeah. I don't know how much of that is around. We're sort of in rugby league heartland, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But maybe
That's no
we'll
fun.
move back to Geelong just to get her trained up.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on the Cats roster.
Yeah.
Get the Bond project.
But I would love her to play soccer because there's so many there's always kids playing soccer just around the corner from us, and there's a lot of like Irish and English people in my area,
yeah.
and so all the coaches. I can see there are some pretty like shit hot kids. Like there are some kids who are pretty handy, got pretty
Yeah,
fancy
right.
footwork
Mm.
Yep.
because they're being drilled by their like
100%.
English, Scottish, and Irish parents.
Yeah.
So if I could get her in with them, like they're fresh off the boat, they've still got the skills from the homeland. Maybe I could get her trained up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lewis, you and I both did this, or a
Mm.
version of this. Was this a silver bullet for you?
Look, through no fault of the silver bullet, for me it was a blank, just because I couldn't pull the trigger.
Couldn't achieve.
I couldn't achieve. I had a lovely time, and I could see how I was. I was thrilled enough at just asking a friend to come and have a play date with me.
Go
that-
on.
That
Then call it a silver bullet. Go on.
you can't. I won't be dragged. Sorry, Raul.
All right.
But it's I'm going to give it another crack this afternoon,
Okay.
and I know that's annoying for the podcast.
Next
Sure.
episode, maybe just
Let
do
it-
a
I'll
little-
just
everyone
sorry.
know.
I'll come back and go.
Just-
Raul did it.
Yeah.
For me, there is something also about, I don't know exactly how to express this, but there's something about male friendships that for me, like a being friends with another man,
Mhm.
where it's nice to have something to do.
Mm.
Like
Yes.
turning up to a cafe just to have a coffee and talk is fine,
Yeah.
but there is something really, really nice about having something to do, whether you're turning
Yeah.
up to play a board game or you're putting up a shelf or whatever it is. Just having an activity makes maybe this is just my bad social skills,
No,
but
no,
it
I
makes the
think that's
interaction.
fair.
No, I think
It gives you a purpose, you know.
a lot of men, I feel like we relate to it about how you always have that friend that, well, for me, this is like what I have. I like, if I go for a surf or go for a kick with them, I don't really talk to them, but we do the
Just hanging
activity
out.
and we just hang out and we enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
But it's not anything really deeper than that.
Exactly,
And like, it
yeah.
doesn't need to be. It's like kind of the no strings attached. It's like,
Yes.
it's like we don't actually have to like talk about our lives and our
Well, because-
girlfriends and what's
Yeah.
happening at home or at work. We go out, we talk about the activity we're doing, we do the activity we're doing, and then we dap each other up and say bye.
Yeah,
And like that
100%.
is like the
Because I-
best type of friendship. For
Yeah,
me.
because I think that I feel.
I don't want to get deep. I want to
Yeah.
keep it
Well,
surface.
I think because there is an expectation. Well, I don't know. I feel maybe pressure when you're meeting up with someone for a coffee or a beer or something.
Yeah, you gotta have chat.
And you want to have a chat. You gotta bring something to the table.
You do.
You gotta be like, oh, is there a big, I don't know, story or I don't know, some sort of big question or some advice or I don't know. If we're meeting up for a chat, I feel like I need to bring chat. Whereas I really like this because it is. I mean, for me specifically, in my situation, it's like there is. The thing takes away all expectation. The activity takes away all expectation that there would be any depth to what we're doing. I like the competitive element because it also has an end.
Yeah.
It has a point where it's like we'll do the thing and then we'll go.
Yeah.
I like being outdoors.
Do you?
Well, I liked. Not that I generally enjoy being outdoors. But I did appreciate being outdoors in fresh air.
Yeah, just remembering what it was like.
Yeah. I think oval choice is very important. Had I thought it through, I wouldn't have gone near a school around
I
recess
should have given you
time.
guys tips.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
have guys given you a professional ball each as well.
Yeah. And I cannot tell you how much I loved getting dressed up in a full Australia kit and buying an official ball and kicking it into a goal.
Oh,
like that.
That's the best.
It honestly, the joy I felt from that was, I mean, I'm getting married in 2 days, and I reckon
Oh my god.
this will be on par with that.
Okay.
Like,
Wow.
All right.
I felt such wondrous joy.
That's where my addiction came from. It came from that exact joy. Because I've got about 30 football kits. I've got about 5 pairs of boots that I like interchange. Like I live my kicking life like I'm a professional football player.
Even though none of the skills,
Nah.
none of the fitness, none of the cardio,
No.
but there is just something
All the-
eternal about getting dressed up like a sports
Yeah.
star and having a kick, and it is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Huh.
100%.
Truly wonderful.
Would either of you
Lewis
ever?
is like, okay.
No. I do get it, and I'm disappointed I couldn't taste that
Yeah.
flavor this week. But would either of you, when you were kids, do you ever wear the kit to the game?
Were
you full kit to the game, kids?
What do you mean?
Like, did you ever go to like
A sporting match or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
dressed
yeah,
as a
yeah,
full
yeah.
kit.
Nah. No,
Hmm.
I didn't really
never-
go to many sporting matches
Yeah.
as a kid though.
Okay,
I
interesting.
used to, I didn't watch much football.
Right.
I watched a bit of rugby with my dad, but
Yeah.
I was never like really into it. So no.
Yeah, gotcha.
I would wear maybe a jersey, probably not full kit.
Yeah.
A jersey to a game. I would occasionally on like a sports day or something
right.
wear a full kit to something.
Yeah, shin pads. Did you bring shin pads, or do you have shin pads? 'Cause
I do
that's
have
the thing.
shin pads.
If you bring shin pads, I think that's the
I
level.
didn't bring boots or shin pads, but I have them at home.
Yeah.
But I didn't bring them to this. But you know, that's the next next step.
Got to bring
obviously.
boots. Boots is the big thing.
Well, yeah.
to a kick.
It's not a silver bullet without the boots.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the next level for me is boots.
Yeah.
Boots and maybe a sweat. Maybe I'll just give myself a captain's armband.
You're in. I think, I feel
I
like
think this is close to a silver bullet for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So I think I'll have to try it a
The
few
little
more
like
times.
goggles, so you don't need the contact.
Yeah, sweet goggles. But this would be close to a silver bullet for me.
this is almost the happiest I've seen you on this podcast.
Yeah, I will
And
say,
I mean, you still did manage to fuck it up somehow
Yeah.
by like
Yeah.
maybe being investigated by the police being too close to children.
again, feel mortified by that.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
did turn our bodies around, so we're facing the top of the
Yeah,
bleachers.
yeah.
Your Honor, we turned our bodies around. We weren't looking.
So yes, no, I would say this is pretty close to a silver bullet for me. I think I need to try it a couple more times, but
Yeah.
the current trajectory is, and this is going to be an absolute silver bullet for me. I will undoubtedly be doing this, once a week now for the next little while.
Wow. So, and just one more question on
happy to
that.
hear.
When you texted your friend, your unnamed friend, what was their response? Were they at all like, this is an unusual thing? Or were they just like, yeah.
They had to be arm twisted. I asked them without explaining it was for a podcast.
Yep.
And they're like, what is this? And then they started asking what it was for. And they were worried I was going to record stuff and whatever.
Sure.
And no, so I
I was about to ask. I wanted to see footage of both of these things.
Well, I can show you
Yeah.
footage of me getting Olive to kick a soccer ball.
No.
But it's not really that fun, yeah.
But yeah, and then once I told him that this was for a thing, they were like, "Oh, okay, I get it." But I think we both had enough fun, and I am so confident in this now. I would feel very confident pitching it to people. Hey,
Great.
come for a kick around without any podcast. or anything.
Especially with the World Cup on now,
Yeah,
I feel like it
Mm.
gives you a little lead in to be like, oh,
totally.
I've got the football fever.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
come on.
Hey, great at the Matildas.
Yeah, exactly.
Shall we go for a kick around?
Yeah.
All right. Huge. Silver bullet. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. It's fine.
Well, this has been Silver Bullet. A big thank you to Rule for dropping by and telling us all about
course.
his obsession with penalty kicks, buying soccer balls, and also
Yep.
full kits. Love that.
And the Excel spreadsheet scheduling of nearby sporting
Yes.
events.
Yeah.
Very important. So again,
I'll send it through.
if anyone found that spreadsheet on your computer, they might ask some questions.
But you can go for all of our South American listeners. Go
Yes.
and catch Rule on your first ever South American tour.
Yes, I'm going next week. South America, going to Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Chile, and then Europe after that. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
European listeners,
Yeah.
I'll be in pretty much every state.
I imagine
can
you
or
should be able to
country.
find some people to play
Oh,
football
yeah.
with in
both,
those
both,
locations.
Yeah, both of those.
Yeah, I would say,
countries.
yeah,
I'm very
huge in
excited.
South America and Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be able to come back with some new kits.
Yeah,
And some new
that's what I'm
balls.
hoping for. I'm trying to like.
Just filling up your road cases
Yeah,
with
exactly.
like balls. I found it. It's the Brujitsu or whatever.
If you would like to follow us, you can do so on the ABC Listen app and find all the past episodes of Silver Bullet. You can also watch it on YouTube, Lewis.
Yeah, that's right. You can. We're filming it, and go and have a little look, or you can just follow it wherever you're listening now. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.